Greetings and salutations, this is Perfect Reject WolfSnake Games, and I'm here to bring you guys another video this month, and this one's going to be the pickups of what I've managed to get my hands on in the past month. It's going to be probably about 4 days late by the time I upload it, which is unfortunate. I apologize for that. And this is actually going to vast over the past 2 months, because of the simple fact that I didn't really have it in my head to make this type of video or anything until this month. So first off, we're going to start off going through the systems, and as I come across the systems, what games I managed to get for them. We're going to start off with the Nintendo line, as would be a pretty obvious choice. I got an NES, one of the most nostalgic systems, because of the fact that my grandparents had one, and every time I went up there I would play it. They actually had 3, and they had the same problems that mine does, and that is that the pins in the system seem to be messed up, so it won't run the games properly. It could be the games, but after testing about 12 games, I doubt it. Now, even though I tested 12 games, I tested them in the store before I bought the thing, and I wound up getting it for 20 bucks, 2 controllers, wires, everything, 10 bucks to fix it. Wound up like a pretty good deal. I picked up Battletoads and I picked up Super Mario Bros. 3 just so I could have 2 games that I remember from when I was little, so I could have them to play with whoever wanted to play with me, really. I think Battletoads was the multiplayer one. Maybe it was the Super NES version. So either way, we're going to move on, and the next one is going to be the Nintendo 64. Now, everybody remembers the Nintendo 64, I hope. This was the first system that was ever put in this household, along with, it came, when we got it, we got Pokemon Stadium, of course, Super Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, and one other game that I cannot remember, Duke Nukem. How did I forget that one? Yes, we had Duke Nukem 64, and those were the games that we played. Little kids, we were hiding the fact that there was so much nasty stuff in Duke Nukem, but, you know, here we are today. Other than that, the games that I got for that is Extreme G. Never really heard of it, other than one of my friends in school used to brag about the game all the time, and I decided to go ahead and get it when I saw it. Mortal Kombat 4, and speak of the devil, Pokemon Stadium. It also, I did manage to get my hands on the little piece that goes in the back of the controller, so I can train up and trade my Pokemon between the games or whatever. The next system in the Nintendo line that I have is the Gamecube. Now, I used to have one of these, and it was a funny story about it. I wound up getting the PlayStation 2 because my parents would not get me the Dreamcast because of the whole flop that Sega had with their Saturn. And when my PlayStation 2 messed up the 3rd time, I decided that I was just going to wait until the next systems come out. I wound up getting the Wii, waiting on the 360. Never really played any games on the Wii because I didn't like it, and then wound up going back and getting this thing because of the simple fact that it's easier for me to just take this, put it in a little case in my room or something, and back and forth. I wound up selling it though because I stopped going to my friend's house as much, and they got their own Wii, so I didn't need to anymore. So I wound up selling it, and I managed to get one back, so that's pretty neat. And I apologize if you guys are not interested in my little story times between each one. But that having been said, the games for that I picked up about 20 games, about $1 a piece. I'm not going to show them off just because of the simple fact that every last one of them were loose games. They didn't have the cases, and I don't really see that as part of a proper collection, so I'm not going to show them off. There's no point. We're going to move on to the Sega systems though, because those were the 2 consoles in business when I was growing up, was Sega and Nintendo. There was Atari out there, but not many people knew about them around that era of, you know, my generation. So it is what it is. And first and foremost, Sega Genesis. Yes. Now this was just as nostalgic as the NES, for the simple purpose of I knew somebody who had one, and I constantly wanted to play it, but I had to go to their house to go play it, and I never hardly went to their house for obvious reasons. So getting my hands on one is the first time one of these has been in my house. Pretty neat, I have to admit, and hopefully it will bring lots of fun into this house like it used to when I was little, especially with some of these games that I got, because Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. Yes, nostalgic. I remember playing that one at my aunt's house and just loved it. Me and my brother played it for hours. And then when we returned home, that's all we could think about for about a week. Tiny Toons, Buster's Hidden Treasure. Now, I don't remember ever playing this game, but I grew up on watching Tiny Toons, so I had to get it. I did play it actually yesterday a little bit, and the character, if I'm gonna have to do a review on that game, because it's pretty much not the greatest game, but at the same time, it's not a bad game. So, I might wind up doing a review. Now, as far as everything else is Sonic games, and that is Sonic Spinball, which I did not know was on the Genesis. I thought it was on the 32X. Sonic 3D Blast, which again I did not know was on the Genesis. Actually, I didn't even know that game in particular existed. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, not for resale, even though it was resold to me for $2. And regular Sonic the Hedgehog. There was Sonic and Knuckles. They had 2 copies of the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge, but the top piece was missing and they didn't work. They were trying to get them to fix them, see if there was a problem with it that just like cleaning can do or something. I told them I'd buy it and I'd clean it, but they wouldn't sell it to me. And nonetheless, if they wind up getting it all cleaned up, it'll be mine. Now I don't have a Sega Saturn, so I'm just going to put a little moment here of silence for depression. Okay, now the Sega Saturn, the reason I done that is because the Sega Saturn was the first system I personally ever owned. And it's very unfortunate that I don't have it anymore because it was given to, and I'm not mad at him by any means, but it was given to one of my cousins before he went to boot camp after getting out of high school. So I didn't know anything about it. I went and asked my mom one Christmas. I was like, hey, well, where's my Sega Saturn? You know, for nostalgia purposes, I was going to hook it up and play it. She said, oh, well, I gave it to your cousin when he went off to boot camp. He said he'd return it. Yeah, I'll never see it. So now I'm going to have to go hunt myself down another one. But moving on to the next system, the one system I wanted for so long, and the system that started my entire collection, the Dreamcast. Now, when I say it started my whole collection, that doesn't mean it was the first one I had. So, yeah, but it's the one that after I laid eyes on this thing and I played the first 3 games that I played on it, and it just hit me that this is where gaming was going. This is where it should have been. This shows the proper direction all games should have been going. And then it came into this arcadey format where everything is so much easier than it used to be, whereas this one still has some fairly unforgiving games that really put you to a test. They're enjoyable, they're long-lasting. First system to bring memory to the table, so you didn't have to worry about having to restart every time you put the game in the console. This one is this has to be probably my favorite system of all time, so I'm just going to go ahead and stop there before I go off on a rambling spree. I do have a couple of games for that, but I don't have them right handy. It's basically Shenmue, Sonic Adventure 2, and I think there was one other one, but I'm not going to get into it because there wasn't that much, and I will be probably doing a whole video dedicated to this come this month because of the simple fact that it's going to be the Dreamcast anniversary. Now moving on to the Sony systems, I do not have any games for this yet, but the Sony PlayStation 1. And yes, I did get the original honkin' beast of a system. I'm going to be doing a couple of reviews come soon, and I don't know which system I'm going to start with. But with this one, there was actually some damage to the disc tray. It seemed like I wound up going in, cleaning that up. It seems to work fine other than that. And then the controller, when I went and popped that open, because there was some, it felt like, you know, maybe the wires or something were off. Everything just fell apart. Like, literally just fell apart. So it was tampered with, and all the pieces you could see, like little plastic pieces that hold it together, were actually broken and snapped and in like several pieces, and everything just out of the system when I went and opened it. So you could tell somebody had tampered with both the system and the controller. It did come with wires though. It does power up. It does run. I don't know if it runs disc because I don't have any to try. But moving on to the next system in the line, that is the PlayStation 2. Now the PlayStation 2, I got the slim version because I've heard of it having more reliability, and the flip top just made me feel more comfortable with it to start with. I wound up getting the fat version for the sake of having it in the collection, but this will be my main, the one I play on, and I won't probably be using the PlayStation 1 because of the amazing backwards compatibility that Sony has kept very strong too, although by my understanding the PlayStation 4 will not have it, so come on guys, what's your problem? But anyway, that's one of the very few things that I can give Sony because I'm not a Sony fan. Their backwards compatibility has stayed consistent throughout the years. As far as the games go that I got for that, one of them I've heard very good things about, and that is the Xenosaga 3, Episode 3. Never played it. I remember when it came out, I looked at it because I did have a PlayStation 2 at the time, and I stared at it and stared at it and stared at it and wanted it. Never wound up getting it. I don't really know why. I just didn't. And ProLancer, which is something I've never heard about. But it came in this nice little case. It come with an actual deck of cards, like playing cards. It come with a soundtrack, which has some pretty decent music on it. Some of it I would probably be caught dead listening to outside of playing the game. Most of it, not really. It also came with a watch that I probably wouldn't be caught dead wearing, and a necklace with a power ring that was hooked on it. They come in a little, like, velvet bag that I would probably not be caught dead wearing unless I was cosplaying. And that's mostly because of the fact that it would turn my neck green, I'm almost sure. Most of these games I probably forgot to take the price tags off of, I just realized. I know I did this one and now it's going to turn my nerves up, but I'm going to sit it down before I get too carried away trying to pluck it off. Now, oh, shame on me, shame on me. Microsoft. Now, I've had an Xbox 360, so that's why this is not in this video. I've had an Xbox 360 since day one. I wound up upgrading to the Elite on one Black Friday when I saw the Modern Warfare 3 Elite version on sale, and ever since, been running on that. Never had a problem with Xbox. On the original that I used to have, or the 360 that I currently have, or the one that I had before now. But I wound up getting rid of my Xbox. I gave it to my friend because his Xbox 360 messed up. He got the red ring of death. And his old Xbox he had already took apart like a complete idiot. Just to see what kind of stuff was in it. He took the hard drive out, wound up reformatting it and using it in his actual PC. So I gave him my old Xbox, and he used it for games like Morrowind, you know, all the classic stuff that we used to play. Morrowind, Halo, all those. And now, I managed to get my hands on another one. So, this one, every one of these systems I got came with at least one controller. Most of them came with two. It came with all the wires. Really good condition. They all work. They all run. They've all been tested, with the exception of the NES, everything runs fine. And this one, as you can see, has some scuff marks and stuff I need to do some cleaning on. It's the only system I haven't taken apart and cleaned yet. So that is going to be my next trick, and that looks like there might be a mod chip in it. So that will have to be something for another video entirely. Interesting. Now this one I did get a game for. I wound up grabbing the case and taking it to the counter to get Blood Rain. They wound up giving me Blood Rain 2. I'm not complaining. I'm going to go pick up Blood Rain in a Blood Rain 2 case come this weekend, just so I can have both games and both cases properly set up and on my little display behind me and everything. But that is in the car, so I can't show it off. Other than that, it seems to be about it. As far as, there were a couple of games that I managed to get my hands on for a system that I'm not showing off because I've had it for so long. I've had the PSP probably about a year before the Vita came out, so nothing too outstanding there, but I never actually owned a game for it. Long story to explain on that deal, but I wound up getting my hands on Persona and Persona 2, the, Innocent Sin, mini soundtrack included, collector's edition or whatever. And I have to say, listening to the soundtrack on the way home, every last bit of the music on this game apparently is something I would listen to on my headphones while I was walking down the street laughing at people. Or myself. But either way, overall, first 2 PSP games I've ever owned. I don't know why I even have a PSP. Never had to pay for it. It was a gift. Just never got any games for it because I didn't see anything that really caught my eye. They gave me Legend of Heroes, but I don't even know where that game is. And Twisted Metal I think I had, but again, don't even know where that is. So that has been the collection of stuff that I've gathered over the course of the last 2 months. Like I said, I'm going to be trying to do one of these videos every month, and from now on it's all going to be about the games. The sports games, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to wind up picking those up eventually, but they're probably not going to be anytime soon. And now it's on to collecting all the good stuff. You guys will be treated with a review, hopefully, this weekend. If it's not by this weekend, it should be up early next week. I'm still trying to get everything in a regular schematic, so I have these regular shows pumping out for you guys at a very regular pace. I'm in a little bit of a situation right now. I'm on workman's comp, out of work, and trying to get everything settled. I think I'll be going back to work soon, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on and where my schedule will lie so I can try to pump out videos. It might be a bi-weekly basis, but you'll get probably a lot more videos after I get everything settled. So I'm going to leave it off here. Comment, rate, like, subscribe, do what you do. If you like this video, give it a lick, and this is Perfect Reject signing out.